Please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Adonay. I am from the state of Eritrea. I came to this country in order to complete my bachelor's degree in international relations and global studies. I completed my bachelor's degree and I was looking for a consultancy company in order to complete my master's program. And I came across Line Addis, and I came in order to complete and to send my applications for my master's program in international business, and the department is specifically management. And that's a brief information about my background.
So how did you come to know about Line Addis?
So I came to know about Line Addis from a friend who was already registered here. He already begun his process here, and he was basically testifying to me about the quality of service in this agency compared to any other agency within this country. He was telling me that this agency is trustable, they execute the specific task on time, and they also provide professional customer service. After he informed me about this, I came to this agency, and the first thing I noticed was the professional customer service, the way they introduce new customers, and the way they provide extensive information in order to provide the customer an entire picture of what's expected when they go to complete their studies in Poland. So once I met the individuals that work within this agency, already I was aware that the customer service is good, and I look at the low service charges, and I was also amazed by that. Then I decided to continue with this specific agency.
So please tell us about your application steps.
So my application steps, firstly I had to prepare the necessary applications, for example the bachelor's degree, the transcript. I had to make sure they were authenticated, and then I presented each document one by one to the individuals that work within this agency. And what they did is they made a copy of those documents. They sent those documents to the university. The university sent me the conditional acceptance letter, and then I made the payment of the tuition fees, the 6 months tuition fees. After having made the payment, they contacted DHL, and the original document was delivered on time. After all the documents was prepared, I had a proper interview training session. The list of questions was they had a list of questions, so I knew the type of questions that might have appeared on the interview session at the embassy, and they booked an embassy appointment for me. I was lucky enough to get my embassy appointment within a period of 2 weeks. After having received the appointment, I went for my interview. Since I was already prepared, the process was very simple. And I did the interview properly, and today I got my visa.
That's nice. So please tell us about the situation at the embassy. Like, was it difficult? Tell us about the interview.
Sure. So when you're going to the embassy, obviously there's that natural feeling of nervousness, because you know what to expect, but at the same time also you might be asked questions outside of what you had expected. So in general, you have to make sure you're prepared. Also, you have to make sure each document is properly authenticated and it's in accordance with the specific chronological order. So for that reason, once I prepared my documents and everything was prepared, when I went to the embassy, I was a little bit nervous. But at the end of the day, when the person who works there, when he started calling the students one by one for their visa interview, once I went to that specific room for my visa interview, I felt more confident, because I knew that Line Addis had made me prepared, especially when it comes to the documents and the questions. So the things I was expecting to be outside of my control was very small. And then I did my interview. The person who was also interviewing me was, his voice was audible, and the questions was very simple. Specifically, they asked me 3 questions. After that, they asked me my documents, and when they were asking me the documents, it was the exact documents that Line Addis had told me to prepare. So I provided them one by one, and then after I provided it, I made the necessary payment, and by today I received my visa.
Excellent. So what services do you expect to get after your departure to Poland?
So after my departure to Poland, per the agreement with the Line Addis, what I expect to get is firstly the transport services, because once I get there, since I'm new to the country, I need some sort of transport to take me directly to my accommodation. So first, the transport, and then secondly would be the accommodation, because I was quite worried on how to book accommodation by myself, especially taking into account that some of the prices might be inflated since it's a capital city. But with the support of Line Addis, they were also providing me services such as finding the right accommodation, finding the right price, and paying a reasonable price for it. So those were the main 2 services I expected. And those are, I believe, the main 2 services that I will be receiving.
Thank you. So if you have anything to say about to our audience? Yeah.
So additional stuff I would like to say is, in this country there might be like a negative understanding of agencies, because there's a lot of agencies that don't fulfill the work that they promise to the students. And as international students, since we're really eager to complete either our bachelor's or master's degree, we really want to find a trustable agency in order to complete our studies abroad, because abroad the quality of education might be higher compared to the universities that we have in certain African countries. So for that reason, the message I would like to send is there's that negative understanding, but it's very important to come by yourself and witness the customer service in Line Addis. Once you witness the customer service, once you get introduced to the people that work here, and you understand how committed they are to providing you that professional service throughout the entire time that you're working with this agency, then you will understand the importance of working with this agency. I am sure you will be able to also make that decision of registering in this agency, that they will provide the service on time, and they will leave you with a very memorable experience. It's a long-term partnership, so that's why I really appreciate, and I encourage you guys to come to Line Addis. Yes.